afternoon, Pisces. I'm finally getting to your horoscope for the week. The date 17th of November to the 23rd. Your water sign. And let's say the wolf. So let's get into this. Okay, too many. Didn't even say what we were doing here, but that one flipped, so I am going to take it. Alright, and it's going with the body, mind, spirit, or heart. Okay. Spirit gives true, precise messages for the Pisces. Wolf, please. Body. What's coming at the Pisces for? Woo. That one. Tower of Death. I'm going to put these over for you. Better? Okay. And then what's on their mind, Spirit? What's on their mind? Pisces, wolf. Give us the cards that show what's on their mind for Pisces, please. Thank you. Anything else on their mind? Thank you. Well, a lot is on their mind. A lot going on for Pisces. That's probably why I had to wait. Energies are hitting heavy. Right. Okay, let's get what's in their heart, Spirit. What's in the heart of the Pisces? In their soul. Heart and soul. Heart and soul. Heart and soul. The Pisces will please. Heart and soul. The Pisces. Thank you. Heart and soul. The Pisces. Thank you. Heart and soul, Spirit. Hang on. Thank you. This is the wolf spirit. How cool is that? No wonder I was tempted to use it. But it's the blessed sage. I'm just clearing up some heavy energy off these cards. Alright. Let me get situated here a little bit better. Alright, so Pisces. Got a lot of heavy energy. This is what's coming at you, okay? You're releasing, so you're standing your ground. You're grounded in solid foundation regarding the three-person situation. You are releasing your person, saying, you know what? If it was meant to be, come back at me, right? You're releasing him. Holding this, and this is a girl, so I'm saying him, but genders don't matter. As I always say, flip the energies as you need to. The message may or may not resonate with you. Alright? So, holding on to the connection to this journey, understanding it, believe in her belief system regarding this connection, but knowing too that she knows her worth, so she had to release him. And if once he's, done, healed, and he'll see her worth and needs to come back at her, right? If it was meant to be, of course. It's the old saying, release what is what you desire, what you want, and don't hang on to it so tightly. If it was meant to be, it'll come back to you, right? So in their belief system, they want the Six of Pentacles, they want equal balance, they want equal give and take, they but want to be nurtured and nourished equally with you, with the divine, and share this experience with you. The sword, Page of Swords here, she is standing her ground again in her truth, saying, come at me with your truth or face the sword. The moon energy, of course, is the full moon recently. There was many tears. Perhaps you had conversations, either the 3D or the 5D, but there were many tears shed. It was an emotional full moon experience, especially with retrograde, right? Things are coming back from the past. People are coming back into our lives, but it's the Mercury retrograde in some situations. This is an 18 breaks to a 9, near ending, but if these things are not discussed, if these things are not, you know, they're being illuminated that need to be discussed, that are very emotional, and if not, then this crab is going to march on down through the path and divide the two right between them. It will be an ending if they don't come together with this discussion. The Tower moment is here, shaking things up. There were clearly a three-party situation, backstabbing going on. Boundaries had to be set. But before these, wow, the Tower, the boundaries were set so it illuminated the lightning strike of saying worth. You know, this, sometimes you don't miss something until it's gone. So by releasing it, then they realize your worth and come back to you. So the Tower moment, while this release may be a Tower moment for that masculine, it is also a good Tower for both parties, because it's going to hit them, shake them up and see their worth, that building was valuable before it fell to the ground, and we don't miss something until it's gone, right, sometimes. So this, in a sense, the Tower moment is almost a good Tower here, saying that he's going to recognize your worth now and come back to you. Have a death of the old self. He's going to be his rebirth of his soul. But this is in this between moon cycles is a matter of the rebirth of the soul, the death of the old way, the way he used to see things, and now he's seeing things from a new perspective because of this rebirth, having a newer understanding that maybe his pentacles in his mindset are not the most important thing. He's listening to his higher intuition. He's still trying to balance out his pentacles. Perhaps he's lost everything before, or felt like he lost everything when she released him, because this is under here. So now he's trying to be protective of the only thing he has left to cling to. All right. And who's that's regarding his Queen of Wands. He sees her as probably a little fiery right now. Maybe he's sensing that she's holding her staff. She's holding to her belief and to move forward. She's not saying she won't move forward, but he needs to come at her correctly, come at her with his truth. Because she did set her boundaries with this Page of Swords here, when she held up her sword and said, I am in my truth, you need to be in your truth. Come to me in truth or don't come at all. So she has set her boundaries, and she's meditating, healing herself. She's still focused on the flame connection. Her spirit guides are protecting her and guiding her, but she needed to now go within and reassure herself, or heal herself and continue to love herself unconditionally, just as she loves her counterpart unconditionally. But he needs to come at her correctly. And this is directly under here. And just as these two were looking in the moon, sharing, telepathic communication, and so we have here the Nine of Pentacles, the same, building their pentacles, but focused on each other, speaking through telepathy, perhaps very much in the heart chakra with all the green, understanding the science of the journey, but perhaps his head is still covered here, not seeing, even though he's had this rebirth and awakening. This one is showing that his head is still covered, as to speak the truth. but he's going to take that leap of faith forward, and these are in his mind space, mind you. This is him taking the leap of faith forward towards the divine feminine or the person in your life. And this could always transfer. If this isn't a love story for you per se, then it could be a career. You leave one job and things crumble down to the point that there's a death in that career, but you're building a new job, building a new career, taking a leap forward to go apply for another job. It doesn't have to necessarily be love. Energies I get is very much passionate, though, so either you're very passionate about the work you do, or it's a love story. But the Fool, taking the leap forward, moving from the pastures into the unknown with the only things that he needs, but he's very much happy about it. This isn't where he's feeling really like the tower was a bad tower, because he's smiling away, looking up at the divine Great Spirit, and, you know, knowing that he can trust Great Spirit to guide him on his journey, walking away from things that no longer serve him, but still protecting the flame. He knows that his spirit guides are there with him as well. And notice the mirroring here with, she's out in the cold with her wolf here as a guide, spirit guide, and he's out in the cold. Well, not out in the cold is the way, just the pictures in snow. So, but they resemble one another. They're mirroring one another. And you have the two divine couple here. You have the King and the Queen of Wands. So in his heart space, or this person's heart space, they feel they're the king. They're the one in charge, per se. They're wrapping themselves with their belief of this connection and this journey that they are on. Very confident. He doesn't look like he's worrying about too much. And again, in his belief of this situation, mirroring again. Okay, and underneath this is he's tired of being stabbed in the back. This is the Ten of Swords, putting an end to the hurting one another, and still this cold snow. So perhaps there's some of this communications coming across cold and sharp like the sword, but nonetheless there's an ending to that kind of communication, and more of a warmth near the water where the dolphins are playing and swimming, barely clothed. Things are warming up passionately. He's nurturing himself now, and the journey here is close to his heart. This is in his heart space. He has the chemical symbol by his heart as well. He's ignoring the karmic. He's ignoring the soulmates or the work environments, the situations that are that in the past were pulling his energy and pulling his attention from the divine counterpart. He's walking away from those situations, leaving behind things that no longer serve him, putting down the burdens, and heading to his star, because he knows the divine feminine, the woman that he's looking towards. He knows that she balances him emotionally, passionately, with the lotus petal, lotus flowers here in the water. Wants to bloom this relationship or see how it blooms, and he's listening to his spirit guides. He knows the star is the guiding light, the light that he has been seeing in his dreams, in his mind. Again, this is in his heart space. End of the cycle and the start of the new. They're both holding on tightly to this flame connection and being grounded in it with the earth energy, but also in their emotions, wrapped with emotions, both day and night. But this is an end of a cycle. As it comes down here, the World card, it's also a 3. Alright, let's get some clarification. See if I can bring this camera a little closer. Hopefully it doesn't. See if that's better. Yeah, maybe. Hopefully you can see the cards. Okay, so we're going to clarify, we're releasing with the 3 of Wands coming out. Spirit, clarify 3 of Wands, please. Clarify 3 of Wands. 2 precise messages, Spirit. We'll do Pices. coming at them. These. The Hierophant. Who is she releasing? The Hierophant. Okay, let's see. Let's clarify the Page of Swords, Page of Swords. The Seven of Pentacles. She had to make the decision. Do I or don't I release him? Is he or isn't he going to come in his truth? These are the things she's thinking about in this moon energy that bring tears to her emotion between the two. The communication, whether it's truth or not. Regarding the Lovers, wow, awesome. Okay, so regarding the Lovers card here, things were dying off. Things weren't, the passion was dying off. The flames were going out on one person and rising still on the other. They were becoming stale like stone. They just felt like they were just stuck. With this moon energy, it was always the emotions regarding the lack of truth that they decided. Plus, she released him and she said, come in my truth. So it kind of stagnated a little bit. Perhaps there was a pause in communication for a while, but the Lovers nonetheless. And you see the trees in the background, one's dead, well, they're both dead, but one has flames still coming off of it. Alright, but he's coming in, Knight of Swords, with his truth, no mask on. He's riding fast, with the sword upright, with a bridle, and controlling his emotions. Thank you, Spirit. Regarding this Ace of Cups that he wants to offer the Divine. And that Ace of Cups could be the Good Tower as well, because he's coming in his truth. Thank you, Spirit. And regarding the truth was about the boundaries she set. 4 swords in the ground with one in her hand, cutting out the 3-party situation, the lies regarding the other parties, the things that were not acceptable to her, so she put her swords down to say, come at me, right? Or don't come at all, the boundaries. Clarify death, please, clarify death. Okay, so the death was regarding coming out of the cold, that rebirth, the awakening of him, no longer, or still standing her ground regarding her boundaries, but putting an end to the decision, choosing that third out of the 3 parties, no longer is the third party. No, hang on. Third parties are no longer an issue. It's no longer a decision. The decision was already chose. He already knew she was the one. Perhaps it wasn't communicated prior to her saying, come at me, right? But okay, clarify the 4 of Pentacles, please. Clarify 4 of Pentacles, Spirit. In your mind space. Yeah, coming out of the shadows of the moon, so the towers don't fall. Because he wants that 10 of Cups. That's what he's working for. He's protecting those pentacles as a foundation to start anew with this 10 of Pentacles, with 10 of Cups. Sorry, that rainbow, the happy ever after, the castle, and clarify 4 swords. Clarify 4 swords. The Queen of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles, because the Queen of Pentacles is the high, oops, wrong one. So you have the Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Soon you'll get the Empress, because she is choosing the divine counterpart, the divine pentacle, the divine ship. Why? Because it's illuminated. The only one ship and one pentacle are illuminated, pointing out clearly, without a doubt, that that is the divine pentacle, that is the divine ship, that is the divine counterpart. What did I say? Can't make it up. The Empress. Clarify 9 of Pentacles. Clarify 9 of Pentacles. Why is she just looking at him telepathically with her Google eyes? Is he going to come at me correctly? Is he going to come in his truth? That's what she's thinking. After he goes into the hermit mode, perhaps, because he needs to gain more wisdom, gain clarity. Temperance is here to balance things out, putting a death to the three-party situation so they can move forward. And if he doesn't put an end to it, then she'll move forward alone, because she is the Empress, the High Priestess. She is more than confident in her own to take the leap of faith forward, and he knows this. That's why he's thinking about it. He's wondering in his mind space, you know, well, he wants to take that leap of forward. Is she going to leave alone? Is she going to walk away? This is what's in his mind space. Yeah, is she going to walk away? Because I got to take this leap of faith before she does. And clarity of 7 of Swords, please. Clarity of 7 of Swords. Putting down 7 of Swords, leaving what no longer serves them, taking the leap of faith as a Fool card again. I mean, clarification on clarification. Fool card, 7 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Got a lot of wands here for communication. Okay. Putting an end to the 8 of Swords, turning her back to the Swords so that she can move forward. Stop. She's no longer going to be in this, like, the monkey mind. This is in his heart space. Worried about in his heart space, he knows he caused this confusion for her and the pain in his heart space. He wants to put an end to the stabbing of the back. He wants to put an end to the devil energy, which could have been a sexual addiction, since we have the three-party situation. 9 of Pentacles, building the Page of Cups, healing himself while she builds her pentacles, and he knows this in his heart. He knows that she's going to work hard to make this happen, and he's going to go work hard to make this happen and heal her heart, and she's healing him regarding that three-party situation, because he's gone in as a hangman to look at it from another perspective and be in his emotions and feel those emotions. Now he's putting down the burdens that no longer serve him, because he's seen the way things need to be regarding the 5 of Cups, the 3 Cups lost, the 3 people part lost. A tower came in and cleared that out. And he knows in his heart that that tower had to happen regarding the 2 flames. You can see the 2 flames in the card. Okay, the Star card is, he knows that she's in his heart. He knows that she is the star. This is also Aquarius. Moving forward with an offer of the, not only an Ace of Pentacles for that new start to her, but the Knight of Pentacles, or Knight of Cups, with his love, not worrying about controlling the situation. As you see, there's no bridle on this horse, going in faith with the direction of the divine, with the Great Spirit, and hoping that he doesn't come upon the Queen with a sword. That she'll be perhaps in her star energy, because he wants the Four of Wands with her. He wants stability. He wants this new beginning in his heart. This means something to him. He's passionate about this. He's working towards it. Even though he's not communicating it, he's working towards it. This new beginning. He knows that she's doing her unconditional self-love and nurturing herself, and it makes him happy that that she can also love herself and not just be focused on him. But know and have confidence the new beginning with the Ace of Pentacles is coming. Oops. Because the Chariot wants to move forward, and it's moving fast in his heart space. When it's in his heart space, you know it's coming soon, because he also in his mind space is taking the leap forward. Okay? Anything else, Spirit? Can't make this up. This is so amazing. Yeah. Okay, so because the Chariot wants to move forward, and she's having faith that that new beginning is coming, right? Because Judgment came and helped clear this, to make way of it regarding communication with the Ace of Swords, new beginning, with his star, who is the High Priestess, the know-all is all. He sees her, and he needs to come at her right, because he knows her worth. Let me get you some angel cards. It's a beautiful reading, Pisces. I would be a Pisces for this week. I like it. Break the chains. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewrite the future. Absolutely. Go back to your regenerational healing, your past life healing. Create your heaven on earth. This is happening by breaking the chains to addictions as well. Trust your path, your spiritual path, what you have. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? What's your passion? What's your soul purpose? What's your mission? While you are here, you were sent here for a reason. The crumbling, what are you clinging on to and not letting go of? If it was meant to be, it'll come back to you. Let it go. Boundaries. Set the boundaries. Amen. The Divine Feminines know that as you come in your power, you're loving yourself unconditionally, then you need to step into your power of the High Priestess. But by doing that, you're setting boundaries. And everyone's boundaries are different for themselves. One person may accept the third-party situation and have boundaries against the addictions. But some people may have boundaries regarding the other persons they're entertaining, for lack of better words, and they'll accept the addictions. So boundaries, whatever your boundaries are, they're personal to each person on here. I can't tell you what boundaries to set. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. For some of you, you just have to meditate and this is Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Meditate and ask your spirit guides what boundaries you need to set for you. They know what's best for your highest good. Ask the Divine, and all of a sudden, boom, you'll get something will just click, a trigger. You know, of course, it's going to come from a trigger. We all know that. By the time you get to the High Priestess level, you get used to those triggers and how to heal them. But you also know which ones are the ones you need to take action on regarding, right? We don't need to react. Just take action for your highest good. And that would be, at some point, you're going to receive some message or an enlightenment that says, no, that's something I need to put a boundary on. I need to put a stop to that. Okay? So it'll come to you. Star seeds, what lights you up? Thank you for stopping by. Like, share the video, please. Comment on how your journey is going to help others. That would be amazing. and I will see you next week. Namaste.